Good morning and welcome to our live crafting session today. My name's Jenny McCormack and I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm based in the market, oh dear, sorry about that, the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire in the UK. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I hope you've had a lovely weekend. The weather this morning here is really bright and sunny, a bit cold to start with, but a lovely blue sky, which is always a good start to the week, that is for sure. So I hope you've had a good weekend. Today we are starting on some Christmas cards. So I'll be featuring Christmas cards on and off during the next number of weeks. And I'll be featuring these at Coffee and Card as well. Now I know not everybody wants to do too many Christmas cards, so we won't be doing them at Coffee and Card every week. I'll be alternating them out. But we're going to start with some nice simple cards this morning. And this is using a stamp set called, as you can see here, Jingle Jingle Jingle. It's got three main elements to it. So we've got the word jolly, believe and jingle. And to go with those, we've got 'tis the season to be jolly, believe in the magic and jingle all the way. And then it's got these extra little elements. So we've got baubles, we've got a little bow, candy cane, Santa's hat, string of lights and stars, and this little one here goes over the lights. If you don't want to colour them in, you can stamp the colour. Hi Kerry, and good evening to you in Australia. And hi Nikki. So as it's Monday morning, we always have a simple start to the week. So I'm just going to do some nice, quick and easy cards, which if you're a beginner stamper or you wanted to do a bunch of Christmas cards fairly quickly, this would be a good way to do them. The Jingle 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 stamp set is on page 26 of our Christmas catalogue. That's the July to December catalogue. This is what it looks like on the front. If you're wondering whether you have the right one or not, that's the Christmas trees on the front. And it's on page 26, and the cost of the stamp set is £21, and that is for 18 stamps. And there's some simple ideas here, and it says stay simple or step it up. So you can start simple and then build it up with other layers. Morning Catherine, morning Wendy. The sun is definitely shining here. And morning Valerie. So I'm going to start with a nice simple one. I'm going to use Jingle All the Way, and we have an outline and an inside. So this pretty pattern design is designed to fit inside, but you could use these both on their own. So you could use this one on its own and leave it plain, or colour it in. It's an outline. And this one you could use on its own or use it in conjunction. So I'm going to use them in conjunction together. And I'm using some of our die cuts from the Scallop Contours dies, one of my favourite ones to use. So let's do Jingle, and I'm just going to use red and green. Keep it really simple. I've got real red and shaded spruce, some really good, oops, sorry about the reflection, Christmas combinations. So I've got Jingle and Jingle. Now my recommendation always when you're doing stamps that go together, which we call two-step stamping, is to stamp the bolder one first, because it's easier then to put the outline, in this case the lighter one, on top. So I'm going to do this in real red, and I'm going to leave a little bit of space up top for some of the baubles. And I really should have a mat underneath just to help things. Let me grab that. Sorry, just grabbing it out of my coffee and card bag ready, which is all prepped ready for this afternoon. Okay, so we're going to do this one first, the bold one. So I'm just inking it up, and obviously you can see whether you've got it inked up sufficiently. Let's just give that a go. So I'm leaving space for the baubles at the top, and I've just got Jingle all the way, so I can bring this quite a long way down and pop that hopefully roughly in the centre, left to right. Fingers crossed. Okay, so there we've got Jingle. Let's just clean that one off. Should have got another long block out, never mind, it will do the job. Okay, and then this is the outline, so you can keep the outline the same colour or you can change the colour. For this one I'm going to keep it the same, and I'm just going to position this over the top. Now I need to bring it down a little bit so it's closer to me, apologies for that, and you're looking straight through the stamp. Just take a bit of time to get it right, and fingers crossed. There we go. There's our Jingle. It's not very straight, is it? Never mind. And let's do all the way. This one. There we go. I'm going to do this in red, and then I'm going to do my baubles in red and green, I think. So this is real red again, and I've got a real red and a shaded spruce card base, so card layer, so I can decide which one I'm going to use, and then this will fit a note card and envelope. Now this would be perfect for the Stamparatus, because you could have these lined up ready. You could have two of these together and stamp those, another one, and then the other items. Morning, Scott. So I think it would be a really good one if you wanted to do a whole load. Right, let's have some little baubles. So I've got shaded spruce as my green, and I'm just going to stamp 3 going across the top at slightly jaunty angles. So there's 1, 2 and 3. Let's do that one like that. And I like the way they've got a little bit of highlight built into the stamp. I think it was already. So if I bring that up, hopefully you can see that. This would be a great one for children because they could colour in the letters if you wanted them to. Right, let's add in the little bow. And I'm just going to have this bow on the top of each of those baubles. One, 2, 3. There we go. Whoops. So nice and easy. Hi Libby. Thanks for watching and joining us this morning. Okay, so this is going to go on to either a real red or an evening evergreen. Haven't quite decided. And then onto a note card. And obviously on the inside of the card and on the envelope we can stamp either the sentiment or the little bauble. So I think for this one, let's stamp a couple of baubles down the side. 1, 2, 3. And again, they're little bows when I can see it. There it is. So a nice, easy, quick card. As I say, you don't have to use the 2 layers together if you don't want to. And there's lots of thoughts that I've got about multiple stamping of those words, so watch out for those. Okay, so that's my envelope, just stamped down the side. Okay, let's do the other one and then I'll put the 2 together. Let's find my layer. Here it is. So for those who joined after the start, we're using this one called Jingle Jingle Jingle. Morning, Fran, hope you're well. And so for this one I'm going to do 'Tis the Season to be Jolly, and I'm going to add these little lights, and I think I'm going to colour these Christmas lights in. You've also got this little hat which would look quite sweet over the O of Jolly, wouldn't it? So I might do that. So let's start at the top for this one and do 'Tis the Season to be. And again, I'm just going to use the 2 colours, Real Red and Shaded Spruce, but you could use any of the reds or greens, or obviously you could do your own set of Christmas colours. Blues and silvers, always popular, purple and silver. Okay, so let's have 'Tis the Season to be in green at the top. So then I'm going to have my jolly, and then I'm going to have my little string of lights underneath. So let's have jolly, and again I definitely recommend doing the darker one, whichever one is going to have more detail and stand out first. Let's do that in red, but I might have green outline, and I want to leave some space for our little hat. You can just see a little hair tucked underneath that stamp. Right, let's do that again. So, jolly with a bit of space. Hopefully I've left enough. Okay, so you could just leave it like that. Let's grab the outline though, and I think I'll do the outline in green for a change. Hi Claire, hope the little kittens are okay. Thought of you this morning. Okay, so this is the evening, no, it's Shaded Spruce. And again, I'm just going to bring this down so it's a little bit closer to me. And stamp that on top. There we go. And I'm going to try that little hat. So let's find it. So it's an outline hat, but it has a little infill of red. So I'm going to try and pop it on here. So I'm guessing this needs to be red, doesn't it? Hopefully I've left enough space. There we go. And this hat you could put on any character as well. So if you've got any little character stamps, you could definitely use that. Okay. I've got a little mark on my block. Right. Let's put this in here. Now this one I've had to do the other way because obviously I didn't know where the bit was going to go. Sweet. Actually, you could do that at a jaunty angle as well, couldn't you? 'Tis the season to be jolly. And then let's add our string of lights. So a really sweet set, I have to say. See if this will fit on here. Just about. I'm going to pop that underneath. Just wondering, I think I'll do them in red, although I could do them in green because you usually have sort of green cable, don't you, between them. Don't mind. Okay, now you can either use this little stamp here over the top of those, or you could colour those in. So just for something different, I'm going to colour those in. Let's see if I got a yellow. This is Mango Melody, so I'm just using our blends pens. As it's a small area, you could use watercolour pens, you could use Stampin' Right markers, you could use a Sharpie, anything you've got really. Right, let's see. Let's add. I've got Granny Apple Green. Needless to say, I've had to take my glasses off. See what I'm doing. Okay, let's add a blue, I'm thinking. Just to finish it off. The bobble of the hat looks like the J. Oh yes, it does, doesn't it? You're quite right. It does. Very clever. Right, let's add, I don't know, let's go for a pink. Doesn't really matter. And, oh, I could have used a shaded spruce one. What am I missing? Red. Let's go real red. There we go. Okay. So if you didn't want to colour these in, you could definitely use the little stamp. Oh, hi Jill. Welcome back. Oh, Highland Heather would have been a good choice, yes. So I hope you had a good holiday, Jill. Right, and let's pop that little hat on our envelope. Let's find it again. There it is. Let's pop some across the bottom of going to just do 3. I should have spaced it a little bit better, shouldn't I? Well, maybe I'll do 4. It's only the envelope. And then that bit inside. And we're done. Just got to mount them together and we're all done. I've got the reflection of my lights on here, which is making it a little bit more tricky, so I need to go slightly left. Three and 4. Not the best bit of lining up, so I'm going to just fill that in. My recommendation when you're doing anything like this is to have it as close underneath you as you can. Obviously I'm doing it a little bit further out at an angle because I've got a camera between my head and the table. So just going to colour these in. Hide my slightly poor stamping skills. Hi Tracy. There we go. Okay, so that's the envelope. Let me just close these up and just pop the cards together. So I've got this one and this one. There we go. So I've just got to decide, because I've just picked out these 2. I think that looks good on there. This one I'm going to go with that. I've got this envelope and that envelope. So let's just move these out of the way and just pop the cards together. So nice and easy. It is Monday after all. So just popping that with some wet glue onto our layer of shaded spruce. And this piece in inches, I'm afraid, because this is in inches, is 3 1/4 by 4 3/4, because the finished card is 3 1/2 by 5 when folded. Okay, so nice and easy. You could add a little bit of bling. On the stamp set there are also some little stars that would look rather cute. And you could add a little bit of bling. And we also have some flat bell embellishments which are very similar to that. I think they're slightly larger, so they would be good fun on there as well. But for Monday morning, quick and simple card making, it's done the job. There we go. That one, I might colour that in as well where I haven't quite stamped it straight. And that would be a good one for some Wink of Stella as well. Add a bit of glitter to any of those elements, like the baubles here for example. Right, let's just fill that little bit in. Actually, maybe it's okay. Of course you can, Fran. They're very similar to the initial one in the catalogue, actually, this one here. Although they've stamped Jingle all in the background as well. so not particularly fussy, but there we go. So there's the one with the baubles, there's the fun one with the hats. So nice and simple start to the week. I look forward to seeing some of you lovely watchers this afternoon at our coffee and cards in Toaster, and we'll be doing the cards that we did on Friday, and I'm desperately trying to think. Simply Fabulous is the name of the stamp set, and then we'll be doing Christmas cards next week and this Friday. So if you're local to me, I hope you're able to join me. Let me just bring these up to the screen so you can see them in a bit more detail. That's the jingle one. Pleasure, Kerry, thank you. Have a good evening, won't you? And then there is that one there. And I'll probably add a few little embellishments just to finish those off. So thank you so much for joining me. Apologies for being late this morning. I had to drop somebody off for 10 o'clock, so we had a slightly later start than normal. And I look forward to catching up with you tomorrow. I will be back here tomorrow evening at 7. So I hope you're able to join me then, especially if you're in the UK. And if not, you can watch on catch up or on replay. Thank you so much. It's definitely time for my coffee now. I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Keep crafting. Bye for now.